Greetings, one and all, to this week's episode of 10 o'clock. I am your regular face man, Xeno, and that is the other face man thing.
Face man.
I
am the man face.
Man face. I am face man. That is man face.
Man face. Man.
Murder Dr. Loz, and we're here to talk to you about Warframe, episode 448 of 10 o'clock. So getting closer to 450. And yeah, getting ever closer to the big 500.
Are we doing anything for 450? No, we're over a year. Well, in fact, we are a year away from 500.
How?
52 weeks in a year.
Yeah.
And we're at 448.
We are 1 year away.
Yeah, 1 year away.
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 Yeah.
Hey, wait, that means like right on 10
o'clock. It's going to be before.
Or whenever 10 o'clock.
No, I think it's going to be before. I think it's going to be before 10 o'clock.
Wow.
So, anyway, right. So, we're going to start this week as we always start this week. Emblems! I don't want to say Jaws wins because it's just the weirdest thing I've ever fucking seen in my life.
He's a snail girl.
It is a very weird snail girl. I was like, when I was cropping her out, and I was like, wait a second, what the fuck is that thing? Oh my god, that's a shell.
He's a snail girl. So cute.
Very, very weird snail girl. And one of the best perks, we're going to be able to get a new surplus of emblems soon.
Yes.
But regardless of that, if you wish to win 75 platinum for your platform of choice, go into the description below where you'll find a link to this week's emblems along with a poll. So this week's polls and questions and all that shenanigans. Simply fill it in and you'll be entered automatically for a chance to win 75 platinum. You don't have to get the majority vote, or you don't any of that stuff. We used to do that many moons ago, but that's not the case. Just need to enter and then you've been automatically entered in. So just fill it in and automatically entered. You have to get your in-game name correct. If you get your in-game name correct, then DE message me saying, hey, Xeno, we don't know who this person is. I'll be like, hey, I don't know who that person is either. So no one wins for that platform. So make sure you get your in-game name correct. Don't put in like some weird combination, which happened at I think it was last year's TennoCon episode, and someone just put FD for Xbox, and I contacted you as like, can you just confirm for me that this account exists? And they're like, no, that account does not exist. I didn't think it would. So yeah. Anyway, right. So that is it for the emblems. What?
I'm gonna buy Lavos and shove him in the thing. I don't care anymore.
Well, how'd you get Lavos?
Bought him.
No, but how are you otherwise how are you otherwise meant to hurt yourself?
It's like how I did.
Do you want to take away the image? Take the image away.
Okay.
Make the image go away.
What image go away?
Yeah.
You just buy Lavos and you shove him in the thing. Don't care.
How'd you get him otherwise?
I don't know. You buy him.
Oh, isn't it Deimos?
Is it? No.
Yeah, his father.
Is it?
Yeah. So yeah, you got to buy him.
Oh god, that's even better. There we go. Done.
All right. Only option. Right. So going into the Dojo Dusting, he hits the button.
There we go. What a title card there. Dojo Dusting. Lavos dies.
Right. So this week on Saturday, the 16th of July, we have TennoCon. And shortly after the stream and everything, myself, Loz, and I are going to do a 10 o'clock special.
Myself, Loz, and I.
Myself, Loz, and I. Myself, Loz, and Nazareth. Or Nazareth, Loz, and myself.
Are you subsuming Nazareth?
I saw
Nazareth, run!
I saw your Truckosaurus, and I thought to myself,
run, Nazareth, run. It's going to eat us all.
I must eat him. So he will give me all the biomass I need. Right. So anyway, yeah. So the three of us will be doing a little 10 o'clock special. There will be no emblems. There'll be no thing. There won't be any emblems. There won't be any community shoutouts. There won't be any memes. There won't be any comments from last week's episode. It will literally be a discussion of us talking about TennoCon. Right. And then the following Monday, the following 2 days later, or a day later, depending on what time we get the special out, there will be the regular 10 o'clock. That is the plan, ski. Right. I can't think of I don't know if there's anything else in terms of shenanigans. Oh, there may be we haven't there may be a brief period in September where I can't be on 10 o'clock, or there won't be a 10 o'clock until basically, in theory, I'm moving at this point in time in September, but I don't know if I'm going to have same internet issues that Loz did when they took 3 months to install it. I will lose my literal shit if that's the case. I'm just gonna say. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's it for Dojo Dusting. Time for the war report.
What? But
anything else?
So
did I forget something?
You might not be on 10 o'clock, but I'll. By the way, everyone, this is the first I'd really been hearing about it, so I guess yes, I too will keep 10 o'clock running. I imagine I'll nab Nazith or something.
What do you mean this is the first? I've been talking to you about me moving.
He hasn't mentioned this bit about him interneting.
I thought that was a given, Mister. I didn't have internet for 3 months.
As soon as Loz. As soon as I am moving place, I check the internet, and I have the internet ready to go before I even go. And internet moved into a place that doesn't even have internet.
Yeah, and I do that.
No.
But it might not happen.
Yes, and is it yes? Is that the thing? Is that what you're supposed to say?
Yes, and.
Yes, and.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, and what, Drew?
Yes, and I'm just telling a cautionary tale that there may be no 10 o'clock while I'm in the process of moving.
Yes, and I'm reassuring the viewers that I will keep on struggling on and doing things, well, even if it's just me talking to myself, because I don't have a way.
Oh God, you are not doing that. I'm making sure.
Come on, everyone!
Is here to back up.
You know, I'll live stream
it. Sure.
I'll live stream it. We'll do it around people.
Oh my
God!
No, don't, please, for Lord God. Right. Okay.
Power so mine.
I think that's it for the Dojo Dusting. Let's move on to the war. Holy shit, Loz! Did you know
you became a robot?
Cons this. Am I robot?
You're back, but you did for a second.
Okay. Are you aware that it's TennoCon this Saturday, July 16th at I'm just gonna say 5 p.m. ET or 10 p.m. UK time, where they do Tenno live and do the whole Deviri shenanigans talk?
What? And you mean I can watch this on Twitch? Probably also mainly on Twitch or YouTube as well, or probably Twitch. I can watch this on Twitch. Yeah, Twitch.
Yeah.
Twitch.
Twitch.tv/Warframe.
Wow, that's so useful. And I bet if I'm logged in while watching this, I'll probably get some sick rewards.
You do get some sick rewards. I think you get Titania Prime for some reason.
Titania Prime, the rare exclusive Warframe that I think is not on rotation right now, for free. What do I have?
Free?
Do I have to pay anything to do this?
No,
I bet I have to like buy the game or something, right?
No. What do you?
I'm trying to get people to link their Twitch accounts. We have to do the linking the Twitch accounts bit.
Yeah, I know you.
Stick the landing.
Why the fuck are you talking about paying money?
Why?
Like, do you even know how this game works? You've been playing it for fucking nearly 10 years.
I don't. How does this game work, Drew?
Why are you going to pay money? What the fuck are you even talking about?
What? So are you telling me it's a free-to-play game?
Yes, it's free to fucking play game. You're playing it right now. It's free.
I'm playing it right now. Yeah, but
who the fuck have you been paying all this time to play? Have you been paying?
I paid no one. Free to play. I've not paid anyone anything. Shh. Wait, what am I doing? It's supposed to be stealthy.
Anyway, you gotta make sure.
I'm stealthy. This is me being stealthy.
You gotta make sure you link your Twitch account.
It's punched really not work on the shield.
To Warframe. If you've got any concern about that, go to warframe.com. Why are you talking over me, you asshole?
God, aim to save my life.
If you want to make sure that you're linked and everything, go to your warframe.com. Go to warframe.com. Log in. Shut up. And top right hand corner, sign in, go to your account, and just unlink your account and link it back up. It's not a problem. So, yeah.
Yeah, to get your rewards in game, you must make sure your account is linked. Obviously, it'll say that how to do it on the Ditch website. And to get your rewards during the stream, I think you can get the. You don't have to link your account first, but you have to be logged in while watching the stream to get the rewards allocated to your Twitch account. And then at a later point, you can get your if you haven't done it already, link your Warframe account. You can redeem the gifts.
No, I think you have to have it linked first.
I don't know. But there's no reason not to. Yeah, you get it linked first if you can. But I'm just in case. Yeah, just in case. Just in case. But yes, TennoCon. Yeah, it'll be good fun. We'll see some cool stuff.
I think after this episode, we need to talk and make sure that you're not paying any subscriptions to Warframe.
Right. Only 4 installments a year.
Oh dear God. Right. So time to move on to the rest of the show, and it's topics time, isn't it? All right. So topic number 1, enemy pathing. Right, and then topic 2, weapon concept. Is that supposed to be Mjolnir? I think that's Mjolnir. Rocket launcher.
Yeah.
Oh, you put the thing in.
Yeah. I love pictures. You gotta have pictures.
You gotta have pictures. Right. So, moving on to topic 1, enemy pathing. Enemies should not have detection through walls. It seriously screws with their pathing, slowing missions like defense by a lot. Depending on tile. On defense missions on Earth, where there are caverns below by some of the defense targets, Grenier will sit below the target and not move, making it hard to figure out why they're not coming for the target. I can't.
Yeah, look at this.
What tile are they talking about?
This issues of pathing, slowing down like defense lot, depending on the defense style. So, it comes below the defense caverns below so that Grenier will sit between. Oh, I know which they mean. They mean the one where there's like a raised circular mini area, Earth, the classic Earth defense tile. It's sort of a circular big tile, and then in the middle of that is a sort of raised metal drum which you fight on, and there's multiple paths and gangways to it. It looks like an old broken oil refinery, I'd say.
Oh, right. I know. Yeah, they have actually put a video for this as well. So yeah, it's the.
And I know what they're meaning is that so enemies have issues with the area below it because there's doors for them to spawn in below the thing. Yeah, below the.
I mean, enemies should not have detection through walls. It seriously screws with their pathing. I'm like,
no,
are
so
you
it's
sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure what they mean. So what it's to do with the enemy's alert state. So for instance, like now where I'm playing now, I'm stealthed and there's no alarms on, so the enemy's at the neutral state.
Yeah.
If an alarm was triggered and I still stealthed, the enemy's are in like state 2, where they are aware of a threat, but they don't know where I am because I'm stealth. And then if I was not stealth and I was making noise, then enemies will just know where I am through walls, and they'll try and do their best to path to me. Obviously, it's not quite it. Yeah, because let's be fair, it is. The AI or the the pathing system has to go. Well, the goal is to get the enemy to find you and kill you. So it has to realistically, it has to know where you are to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And so it depends. When it's in the correct alert state, it then goes right. You are there. I will then path to you there and try and get to you. Because that's what it's trying to do. Yeah, it tries to be a bit more mysterious about it, but that's what it's trying to do. It just goes right. We are in a combat alert state, so I can see you, so I know where you are, I know where I am, and I must move towards you.
Right, but I don't think. Unless I'm misunderstanding it still, and please feel free to elaborate even further. Enemies should not have detection through walls.
Yes.
That's quite a vague and broad thing. And for that to be the reason why enemy pathing is screwed and they're stuck in...
I feel it's unfair what they're saying, because it's not... it's not that they have detection through walls. Is that at some point, because it is a game, it has to go. You are here. I am here. I must move towards you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the only reason why I would believe that okay, so for anyone that wants to learn about this, actually there's a brilliant YouTube channel. Do you know the YouTube channel Code Bullet?
No.
No, okay, so I discovered this. This guy does he builds these AIs for different games. Now we're talking really simple games like Tetris or Tic-Tac-Toe or Connect 4, loads of games like this. He actually built one for oh god, what was the name of the game? Jump King, right?
Oh yeah.
And he spends months building these AI and then he'll do a video on it. And they're quite funny videos, quite interesting videos. And he talks about pathing and how there's loads of different ways you can actually calculate the pathing and stuff. But one of the important parts to pathing is, an algorithm that's typically used is called alpha beta pruning, right? I think it's also got another name like min maxing or something like this. And the whole point is to stop calculating all the paths that give a non-positive response, right? There is a brilliant book by the professors by the I can't remember their first names, Russell and Norvig, right? It's called A Modern Approach to AI. It really explains it well. And if anyone's interested in this, I'm more than happy to sit down with people and actually talk about it and everything. But alpha beta pruning is basically, instead of calculating every possible path, we only calculate the ones that have a positive outcome, right? So, for example,
how do we decide if it has a positive outcome?
Right. So if we are trying to play a game of chess, right, we can only move one piece at a time. So we base our move based on what our opponent is likely to do. Yeah. This is how AIs it's not Deep Blue, right? Work. They are based on working out what the likelihood is that their opponent is going to make one move because it appears to be the most advantageous to them. Yes, I can see the guy is stuck.
Sometimes pathing fails.
I don't think. Anyway,
well, no, it is because he's in a position and he can't find a path out, or his decision of where the path is going to go is that way, and then you can see that there's rechecks to try and get him out of there, and that's why he sometimes goes left and right because it attempts to give him a different position to clear the
It's not just that, but it's a case of that he cannot see that the tram is blocking him.
Yes,
the tram is not considered a object that should be blocking the path nodes.
Yes,
right. So he's not going to come this way because his destination's been set by the AI director. All right.
Yeah.
And until the AI director has given him a task, go over there.
Yeah.
And
over there.
Yeah, and until he's reached that, the AI director's not going to give him another task.
But at the same time, it as you can see, so another part, just to explain AI, it's actually a great example, as you can see. So it is attempting to get past the obstacle. I assume there's something checking there going, right, our distance to next node is not decreasing, and that's why occasionally you'll see him, he's running in the spot here, he'll go left and then right again, which should, if it was any other object, that should clear past the object in most circumstances. But because he's stuck in an unknown situation, it's not helping him.
Yes.
So that's just to show people just how AI does attempt to do things,
Yes. Yeah. So the whole point of the alpha beta pruning is that you can have a situation where you can't make a decision. You can't make an educated end goal. So if you want to take let's just have one pawn on an entire on a entire chessboard, and you want to get it from the top left hand corner down to the bottom right hand corner, right? First off, you can't do it because a pawn can't move in that direction. Yeah. And that is where you'll instantly see the AI just get flummoxed. The AI won't move anything because it's like, well, I can't move in that direction. So it will just stop, right? Or it will just continue to run the calculations of how to move it, but it can't actually move it. And if you were to say you've got a queen in the top left-hand corner and you want to move it into the bottom right-hand corner, well, the queen will turn around and actually work out what is the best path to it. So it could go all the way down to the bottom of the board and then go all the way right. But it is faster and cheaper to go directly from the top left to the bottom right in a straight line.
But you were saying you don't work out every possible outcome.
Yes. So as soon as it works out that going down or right immediately instead of diagonal is less efficient than the diagonal, it stops calculating after those 2 points. Yeah? Does that make sense?
It's very odd. That's an odd method of selecting it, because you don't know if you're making a decision that I won't make that this is this out of this option and this option, this is now the optimal one. I will always pick this one, even though it might be as a compound with later decisions that other decision you've now discounted could actually be beneficial for the overall goal.
That is true. That is true, but that's not part of alpha beta pruning. Right?
Okay.
That you can actually elaborate mixing it with other algorithms, so you could actually make it more compounded. Additionally, if there's two paths that are of the same optimal length, you could add in a random modifier, so it has to randomly choose which one of the two to take. Yeah, flip a coin, take one of them.
Yeah.
Right? It can happen, but the problem is when it can't find the complete connection, right? Or it starts making its so the big important part is you calculate the distance between the 2 points, right? So for example, if I move what's it called?
So, random thought, can I just say?
Yeah.
Why did Grenier ever just put a turret on this thing?
I don't know, they're dumb.
Yeah. We've got the freaking model. I don't get why we can't have tanks. Freaking tanks would be amazing.
Shit, where was I going with it? Oh yeah, so if you've got the top left-hand corner,
yeah,
right? If you're to move the queen down one, you then calculate the distance from down one to the end goal, right? And you rated a score. You then do that for going right and calculating the distance from the end goal. You calculate that score, and then you go diagonal down. Diagonal. You calculate the score. You find that that has the shortest distance to the end goal. So you immediately ignore the other two options. Yeah. So it's about how you score it as well that determines whether or not you prune it off. So you know, and that's quite possibly what's happening here. It could be a case of it's making its way to the end goal, but then all of a sudden it can't find its path in the progression, and it just breaks. That is what I'm more inclined to believe, rather than this enemies should not have detection through walls.
Yes, yeah.
You know, so it could quite possibly be that when an enemy spawns inside the rooms, like there's one of the spawn points that's not on the path, and thus it doesn't know how to actually hook up to the path. And it's like a real simple, oh well, you just need to add a couple of extra nodes to the path, and then all of a sudden the problem's gone away. But we don't know. And I know that they're pathing AI, right? They actually have another dedicated AI to set up the pathing nodes in their environments. So they've got something that goes through and actually all the geometry and actually works out what the pathing points are. Cool. Right.
This is somebody not really just understanding how things work.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the time people like assume that AI is this really simplistic, oh, well, just do this, just do that. I'm like,
yeah.
The one of the biggest fallacies of artificial intelligence is the belief that AI is going to kill us all, right? AI will just kill everyone on a whim, right? But that's the problem. How do you program a whim? What is a whim? Can you give me a quantifiable definition of whim?
No, it's not a whim. It's a assessed outcome that was never guessed for. And AI can do this.
AI can do this, don't get me wrong, but you have to build it to accommodate that. right? Building an
No, you
AI
don't.
that no, you do,
No, you don't.
right? Well, how do you score it?
Right. Yes. No. It has a scoring system, and
Yeah,
just that is that without realizing it is a accepted outcome in its scoring system without even
right,
intending. They do something
right.
it was never intended to do that, but because you gave it a scoring for something else, and
Yeah.
thus it went okay to achieve that scoring system. I kill all humans.
Yeah, but I
That
mean,
can
it's like,
happen.
does it even know that kill all humans is an option,
No,
right?
no, it doesn't need to.
It does need
It
to.
doesn't. No. It doesn't
How
need to
does
at all. I've got an example
how
for
does
this. I remember reading this on a wall
sure, go
at the
for it.
school. There was, in fact, let me just go invisible for a sec because I need my hands. Right. So there was someone who designed a robot, and it was just a freaking die, freaking die, all of you, just die. I need to use my hands. Yes, you die, and you die, and you die, and you die, and I'm sure there's probably some smart way of doing this with some explosive device I probably have on me, but instead I'm just going to shoot arrows into their freaking faces. Right.
Have you completed the mission yet?
No, I need to kill 19 more. A few more. Right, there we go. And I've got time there. There we go. None of them know I'm here. Okay, I'm going to hide over here. Okay, cool. Right. Someone was designing an AI. This is over 20 years ago. I remember this, and I remember reading this as a paper. It was literally just a pot like that, right?
Yeah.
And it had flaps on each side. One on that side, one on that side, yeah? So it had two flaps.
Yeah.
I was going to do one with my hand, but imagine there's another hand there.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And the goal was to get it to try and see if it could fly or improve its method of moving to try and get lift. Right?
Okay.
Do you know what it got stuck on? So its goal was to try and increase its height by coming up with different patterns and swifts of movement of the two fans upside. And all the fans could do is just lift up, lift down, lift up, lift down. Do you know what it ended up doing?
I kind of guess it did a handstand.
Yes, it realised if it could jab both of its limbs into the ground, it would elevate the canister by a small amount, which was the best it ever achieved, and thus it just stuck at that. It was never intended to do that, but it just decided that was the most optimal method, and it just did it.
No, but the comparison to kill all humans and
use your exactly the same. Use your wings as pushing factors to push yourself up was never intended, but it did it.
No,
instead of using them as flaps.
I completely agree with you, but the comparison here is that it needs to know that it has. This is a complete hyperbolic statement here, but it needs to know that it has nuclear missile codes as flaps.
Yes,
right?
Yeah.
It needs to know. That's the important
right,
part.
but I could build a robot that its job is to feed as many humans as possible, and it has the ability to dispense food, and it realizes, hang on a minute, if I stop dispensing food to 50% of the humans, I then have more food to dispense to the humans I choose, and thus they get twice as much food and are happier. Thus, I will now cease dispensing food to all these humans, to half the humans.
Again, it also depends on how you program the
idiots
the goals, right? Because again, another brilliant AI is Mar.io, which I've spoken about before. Again, seriously, go check out Code Bullet. I'll put a link in the description to Code Bullet's YouTube channel. Some of the stuff he's done, especially the Jump Knight one. Jump King. It's hilariously awesome, right?
Yeah, so I have played Jump King a bit, and I do like it as one of, because there's loads of these stupid endless games like Getting Over It, and I despise Getting Over It because it just feels like every time I move my mouse, it does it differently. Whereas Jump King is actually really consistent.
Yeah.
It's all down to the direction you're holding down and the amount of time you hold the jump button, and that's it. There's no variability. It's literally down to and I assume machine's really good at that because it can time to the nanosecond how long it holds the jump button for, and that varies the jump. There's no variable things happening about timing or and it's also very rigid about where you're standing. It's not iffy, it's very specific. So I imagine if you knew the combination, you could do Jump King blindfolded.
I think I know someone that actually did something similar to that. They did was it? I don't know if Connor did it blindfolded. Dog VA. I think he may have done it blindfolded. But just for gaff. But yeah, so there's stuff like this, but again, it's knowing what is within your scope. Mar.io is another brilliant one where the AI doesn't know that Mario can go left, right? He programmed it in such a way, and you could count this as stupid, but he programmed it in such a limited way that if you're not getting closer to the
right-hand side of the screen,
yes, you're doing it wrong.
right?
Right. So Mario never learned he could go left, right? Or Mar.io never learned he could go left. And then likewise, never learned that he could jump on enemies. He learned that coming into contact with enemies resulted in dying. So he avoided enemies like the plague. And it's very interesting how you really have to show an AI its full scope before it actually utilize something properly. Much like the flaps, no. You're supposed to fly with this. And it's like, no, handstand.
Handstand, increased height by large amount. This is clearly successful. We'll not try anything else now. It's like, no, you're supposed to. You were supposed to learn how to fly.
Yeah, exactly. So it's AI. AI is not as flexible. I think is the best way of saying it. It's not as flexible as people like to think it is.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yes. No. No. Oh, I'm going to use the word malleable. It's not as malleable. It's very rigid.
No, I'd say it is quite malleable, but
self-malleable.
Yes, it can't. Yeah, it cannot easily, change its own shape. And again, AI that again, this code bullet thing. Like he shows calculations of AI and things. It takes hours to run these calculations, right? He basically sets it up again. Jump King, he sets it up and he goes away for like a week to come back to see what it's come up with, right? And again, Connect 4, same problem. He in order to actually, because it's supposed to play a game online to beat people and things and it's like so I love AI. I love it to bits. It's like one of my most interested subject matters and things. But it's nowhere near as simplistic as people think it is. So you will find that the AI in Warframe, every enemy, each one will be given an order by the AI director one at a time. So first of all, AI 1 will get an order. AI 2 will then get an order. AI 3 will get an order. And even though they may all be moving at the same time, their orders are executed in sequence.
Yes. Yeah, but if there's, I mean, not on my radar now. Yeah, there's a gaggle of enemies. Perfect.
Look how many are stood still. Look how many are stood still. They've not been given orders yet. And then they slowly, one at a time, get an order. Yeah?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there we go.
See?
Yep.
Yeah. Wait for it. God, this is such a perfect example right now. Wait for it.
Oh, well, it moved. There we go.
There you go. Right. And then there's a couple in the back there as well. You see the green silhouette.
That one. Yep, there we go. So now, there was a whole gaggle that spawned, and then some ran at first, and then slowly and then other ones are waiting now because they're waiting elsewhere for the next order to come in. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how it works. But people just think it's all like PCs are not powerful enough to do like crazy AI.
Well, and even if it was, remember that I'm only one user of, this is also having to talk with servers at the same time that are handling thousands of people playing different games. There's lots of communication going on. And
well, at this point in time, the communication's very limited because, again, network communicate. You could send all this packets of data together. What?
The target. This isn't capture.
Could be just be the enemy pointer because there's no enemies near you.
Oh, okay. I swear the lights were flashing, but nothing seems to be going on.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Anyway, right? Should we? We've been gabbing about this for a little bit. Do you want to continue gabbing about AI, or do you want to just go into the replies?
Yep. Gotta look at AI.
Gotta gaggle.
Gotta gaggle. Great. So efficient, so good.
Oh my god, those what's it called, god, are they Drax, the dogs?
Yeah,
And they're just like jumping up there
back.
again. This is perfect example of AI pathing gone wrong, right? Because the AI doesn't know it can't do this. It's just moving them because it thinks it can.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't realize that there's a break in the pathing. And it's only when you observe it like this, you could go like, oh shit, why does it continue to persist like this? Because no one cares. Not DE doesn't care. DE probably does care. It's more a case of the player base doesn't care. Player base is slaughtering everything. So DE hasn't gone in to adjust it, right? And adjusting AI, stuff like this, is really fucking finicky. You don't see many tiles like this anymore.
Yeah,
right?
This is a very old tile, and you're very vertical, different levels going on. Yep. Oh, God. They're just dying.
Yeah.
What is happening? Okay, so let's not have the game being pushed on screen too much. Right, let's move on.
No, I respect this, right? Yeah. It's not like it's not something that anyone can just snap their fingers and know what. I mean, heck, it might be if you look in the top right hand corner. Sorry, turn left where the end of that zip line is. Yeah, they're hitting that point, and then there's nowhere else for them to go because the pathing's broken there. They don't know where to go, so they're going to the other side of the zip line. There may be some form of cheaty hacky thing for the AI to move them like that.
If the AI is trapped, it's just if it's trapped, to move them to this point, and so that's why that's
to the other end of the zip line. Yeah. So, yeah.
Right.
There you go.
Leave them
Replies?
Be. Fine. Right. It's okay. I'm just going on screen. Been this bad since release. Just got to know where to find the hidey holes. Yeah, that's the thing. You've got radar. You've got, if you push M, look, you got the map. Look, you can use this. You can get enemy radar. So many different sources of it now. Put things on your map and detect enemies. Yeah.
The sad truth is that we've lost a number of tiles in the Grineer Astra tile set and the Grineer Galleon tile set because of this AI pathing issue.
Yeah.
Right. One of our favorite tiles was that weird spaghetti loop-de-loop one with the staircases. They removed that like shortly after we started.
It's hard to remember. The thing is, I hate it because it was one of the most memorable tiles. The things they removed had flair and uniqueness, and this is an example. This tile is similar, and again, it's the asteroid tile set, and it's odd that this one's still been allowed to stay. But this is the kind of thing, it's very iconic. Look at this with this elevator going up. I'd love to see a tile like this, but 3 times the length. But obviously they've had to butcher a bit to allow the enemies to be able to go from the top to bottom. Because I imagine if they didn't, and they could only be either at the top or the bottom, they'd get really confused and they'd all just crowd on the edge and just glitch out on the edge because they're like, but I have to get down here. So this is that's what's going on here. Next one. I know the devs always say there's no point working on smarter AI, given that most enemies are only alive for a few seconds after spawning. But I do think pretty solid overall is pretty overdue. But I do think pretty solid overhaul, it's pretty overdue. I read my teleprompter.
Yeah, I think that's supposed to be a pretty solid overhaul is overdue. But again, it's like, well, what the hell are you supposed to do, right? Some of the, I think one of the most complicated game AIs out there is Metal Gear Solid, right? But that game, you can only have 6 enemies in an environment at once. And they're really hard to bring back and things like that. Like, the gameplay is so slow and methodical, right? Whereas Warframe's extremely fast, and you need the AI to be loosey-goosey in order to actually react to the players. Yeah? The AI definitely can't be managed by the... Oh, God, what's the name of the damn thing, Loz? The AI can't be managed by the... by a network of servers or anything, because the more people you add to the server network, the more taxing it is, and you'd have to pay through the nose for that sort of AI infrastructure. And then what happens when, oh, well, you've got to pay for more than what's available, so the expected player base. Well, then how do you pay for that, right? What happens when all of a sudden it's TennoCon, there's a huge infrastructure boom, and like, look, I bet you bottom dollar that we're going to have come TennoCon with those relays, even though they spent time testing them. There's still going to be problems, right?
Yep. I don't know. I think they'll probably buy up some server infrastructure just for the day. Because I think they're very Steve. I don't think Steve's very happy when that happens, and I think he'd be happier putting some money in just for the one day, because it's only for a small period of time, and having the extra server capacity as needed kind of thing. And maybe that's what the test actually was, so that it could be activated very quickly and to get what they needed as they needed it.
I think what they were trying to test more than anything else was the fact that they can communicate and synchronize events across like a large number of servers. And what would it take to achieve that? Oh man, only if you had a grenade launcher right now, you could just wipe the entire fucking room.
Yeah.
So, but again,
but it's interesting. Look how someone's standing still, some moving. There's a batch there. Yeah.
But like, you know, when this person is saying like, an overhaul is due, right? You know, like, well, what would you change about it? Oh, I want them to hide behind walls and shit like that. You're going at 1,000,000 miles an hour. They're not going to fucking react that fast. They're gonna despawn and respawn ahead of you.
Yeah, no, that's actually if anyone's been watching, that's why I started having to kill mobs, because you notice that the ones ahead of me were ones it says already scanned, because it was just respawning the same mobs ahead of me, even though there's over 100 to kill. It was just going, right, I'll just spawn these same enemies, because I can't have 100 enemies in active memory. You know, I'll just keep. I've got 20 or 30 or so. I'll just move these along to the next area.
I don't know if you're aware of this. Warframe has like about 30 enemies in the memory of the platform at any one point in time, and then when you kill one, it recycles them by putting them somewhere else in the environment.
Yes,
yeah. So even though it says hundreds, you're not actually killing hundreds. You're killing the same few every X seconds. You know. So and they spawn away from you. So it gives you the illusion that it's new enemies being created.
So for instance, so now the room is full of enemies, but they all ran in, but really what happened was I was just killing the enemies here, and it just moves them out, and now look all these enemies are now fresh to scan. Whereas when I came in at the start, all these enemies had already been scanned.
So yeah, very, very interesting what psychological tactics you can use to actually give you the perception of what's not actually happening.
Yeah.
Next reply.
The problem here is not that the Grineer is detecting the objective through the wall, but it isn't pathing towards it. Removing their ability to detect the defense objective through walls would leave them to standing around and doing nothing more, not less, since they'd be spawned in and just sit there because they don't know of any targets.
That is spot on, right? It is a pathing issue. It doesn't know how to actually line up where it is to where it should be, where it wants to go. So yeah, completely agree.
I had a sister spawn in the room where two doors were locked and there was no way to shoot in.
Okay, so that's more the spawning than the pathing, right? So the door was locked. I think I've had something similar where a thrall has actually spawned into like a secret room, but the secret room's doors were sealed and I couldn't get inside. So it's like, well, that's just unfortunate that the AI didn't recognize that there was a barrier there. You couldn't get there. So realistically, what's up?
They've all just respawned and they're just running here because this is where they're being told to go.
Yeah. So what was I saying? So basically, what the AI needs to do at that point is realize that when it was spawning the sister, it couldn't directly put the sister in a path to the player. So that's the problem there. That's got nothing to do with pathing, though. Next.
And the last one is, by extension, I wish Valband's vortex works by line of sight and not sucking the general vicinity.
I don't understand that one. I wish Valband's... Oh, I know. I do know. That basically means that if there's like if you put it behind a wall, then the enemies on the other side of the wall just start getting pulled into the vortex, even though it can't. Those enemies can't directly get to the vortex. Does that make sense?
It clips through, basically.
The pull does, yes.
The pull does, yeah.
Right. I'm in agreement with that. I think there should be a line of sight. Actually, to be fair, line of sight is calculated typically by the pathing, right? If there is a obstacle between you and the object, and you could work this out via the pathing, then you know that, there's a problem. You have to do like a U-turn. That's not line of sight. Straight line, that's line of sight. Yeah?
Yeah.
So there we go. So that is pretty much it for the enemy pathing. Again, if anyone wants to talk AI with me, I'm more than happy to. It's like one of my biggest passions. And, just come find me on Discord. So cool. Should we move on to the second topic?
Yeah, let me just kill 10 more enemies. Then
you do like killing your 10 more enemies.
I do like killing 10 more enemies. Let me just speed them up by appearing for them.
Making them come towards you.
Yeah. Shoot at me. Depends.
And then you're going to tickle them with your sheave.
Sheave.
Oh, my sheave. Right, now
sheave.
Oh, sheave.
I'm just going to kill this Xmas because I think it's on the...
Magooba?
Yeah, no, yeah.
Good old Magooba.
Good old Magooba. Right, so now we want to go on to topic 2.
And let's bring the concept art up again. Right.
I think it was 9? It was 9.
Yep, there you go. Right, so...
Hey, and there's like a mess around the background. Before we start, no, do the description first, I was going to say.
Okay, right.
I just love the concept art as well.
Yep. After the sentients have latched onto the Orokin grids, okay, the Orokin's automated weapons turned onto them. During the war, Warframes tore these weapons out of their struts and fired back toward the enemy. Tap fire allows the weapon to dumbfire powerful rockets that spray out deadly shrapnel on impact. Okay. Hold fire to trigger and allow the weapon to lock on will ensure the projectile does not lose its target. Okay. This is designed to be an anti-material over-the-shoulder arc gun meant for shooting down enemies' vehicles and crippling cruise ships. However, if used on the ground, can only fire 3 rockets before needing to fully charge up again. So I'm certainly interested in this. You were going to say something, I think, about the concept.
I just love it, but the concept art looks amazing. It kind of things a bit more Metal Gear really than Warframe, but to me it looks more like a corpus gun. I know that I assume that's a Warframe or a Grenier at the front holding it, but to me it just looks very corpusy, not very Orokin.
So I just want to add in, before I comment on that, the concept actually came on June 30th. I'm not entirely sure.
What year?
2022.
Okay, we'll mention that.
Well, I thought that was implied, what with me not stating it.
It isn't.
I'm sorry. So I'm not quite sure what it means by Orokin grids. Any idea?
I assume like neural network grids.
Potentially. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Automated
defense Neural sentries.
Neural sentries.
Neural sentries. It's all about neural sentries.
During the warframes. I mean, unless they're talking about this being like the old war or something like that, I'm not sure. I like the idea that this is an arc gun that it acts differently to being on the ground than up in the air, maybe powered by the arc rings. The idea that this is really a weapon that's used for taking down cruise ships and vehicles and things like that. I mean, hell, I would love something like this to really destroy thumpers and things like that. I suppose my concern is implementation. Would we start seeing enemies utilizing this weapon? Would you want to see enemies utilizing this weapon?
It's hard to say because for instance, they added corpus enemies using Fluctus, the Fluctus rifle, and doesn't really make much of a difference. I don't like. Oh no, they have Fluctus rifles. Ooh.
But the problem I'm perceiving is the fact that this thing has a homing option, which, oh look, I'm in my Arcwing, and now I have even more of a reason to get shot out of the air.
Well, yeah, but a paperclip will knock you out of the air.
That is true. Gotta watch out for those deadly Microsoft paperclips.
Yep.
Yeah, start asking you, do you want some help? And then all
it looks like you're flying an Arcwing. Do you want some help getting knocked out of the air?
I'm down for this. I kind of like it to have more of an expansion to the lore, but again, I would like more of a rock, paper, scissors scenario. Why would I use this and why wouldn't I use this? So evidently they're talking about this being a weapon for Arcwings, but not for the ground. But
I am a fan of the grip type, though.
Agreed.
An over-the-shoulder weapon. Yeah. To be honest, to make it easier, I would like it that whenever it's used, you can't move and shoot.
So you have to be perfectly stationary.
Yep.
On the ground.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you're on Arcwing, I think that's a suitable.
Yeah, it's not hard for Arcwing because Arcwing, I assume, it's for. So for instance, when that, for instance, look at this way. Excalibur's now holding a gun, so it's a dual. He's got to hold one hand up for the pistol, and then
you need to take down.
Oh, I need to take the image. Sorry, let me just take that down for a sec. So I'm just walking back and forth with Excalibur with dual pistols, and see how he has to have one arm up to hold one pistol, and then the other arm has to move. If I swap to rifle, it's now a different way of holding it. He's now got to hold it and move the arms differently and move it. So when they do a new grip type, they have to do a whole new set of movements for that. And that's why it was ages till we actually got arc guns, because they, that's why they still have a few faults really. Which way is it?
Like if you shoot and then go backwards, you actually moonwalk.
Is it shoot? Yeah, yes. Is it? Oh, is it? Aim?
Did they fix it?
This is for a second. I know there's a.
Maybe they fixed it.
Maybe they have fixed it. They have.
Wow. For everyone's benefit, that was the biggest problem when it came to.
You can see it for like a second. In fact,
like that. You could do it like that, but before, as soon as you would stop firing, you could still moonwalk for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I'm supposed to hold down the button. Yeah, that's not the same. Yeah, you sort of see it for a second after I stop shooting, but then it corrects itself. Okay, so there you go. That's improved. But
so they did actually, yeah.
Yeah, but for instance, actually, look what happens when I if I jump, puts the gun away. I don't know. That's for all guns. I don't want to put this bloody arc gun away for a sec, but in fact, let's put it away. I put it away. Oh, it's for all weapons. Okay. What about pistols? Some things you just never notice. Yeah, so you always put it away. Okay.
Yeah.
But I can't get out for a while. Yeah.
No.
But still, yeah, even look at the way he's holding this as I move. That's a different grip type compared to the rifle, and so that takes time to design it. So, yeah, I like the idea of an over-the-shoulder thing, but having it so that you don't have to, like this, so moving and shooting, You know, it's just more effort. But maybe that's actually not hard. Maybe you wouldn't. But I'd like to see at least the first weapons that come out in this category, so it's different. You know, you can't move and shoot them.
I'd also like to see a series of weapons.
Oh yeah.
God, sorry. Not just one. Because
Oh
that's
no,
like
if you're gonna make a
lot.
grip type, you gotta yeah.
Well, it's not just that, but it's like, okay, so if you got this special like rocket launcher for Arcwing and things like that, like let's use it further. Let's move. Hell, maybe this rocket launcher could also be great for Railjack.
In what purpose?
Well, I mean, the fact that it can lock on to enemies and things like that.
Oh yeah. It would give the Arcwing something to do. You know, it could long range target enemies and take them out. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, because I do feel that since Railjack came in, Arcwings have been dramatically I don't want to say gimped, but gimped.
No, they lack a purpose. They lack a niche. They lack any reason why we'd use them apart from just getting out your ship and getting into some other ship. That's all they have left to them.
They're just a transportation system now.
Yeah,
which is like really sad. Like, what's the point in having abilities on them now?
Yeah, which is silly because you've got Arc. So you've in the silly thing about Arcwing, you know, sorry, not Arcwing, Railjack as a game mode is that you would think, okay, there's enemies, there's your ship. How can you engage these enemies? Well, there's the main ship guns, there's the turret guns, and then there's Arcwing. Like each one of those should have different things where they're better at. You know, there
different
should be
niches.
Yeah, different niches. You should, especially now that they can have even it's one of the great things about Railjack, the game mode, is that even if you play it single player, you can have AI allies. So there's no reason that they don't even have to make it. One of the issues with some of the game modes, they have to kind of think, can a solo player do this? How do we change it for the solo player? But they don't have to anymore because you just have AI teammates. So they can just do one game mode for both the team of 4 people and the AI teammates. They just have to understand and attack the objective. Yeah, and so it's a shame because you should be able to be like, oh no, I'll have to engage this with the main ship guns, and then there's this enemy. Oh no, I can't stand still and shoot with the main ship guns. I better get my allies to shoot it with the side guns. And then there's, oh no, these enemies, the ship can't take them on. We'll need someone in an Arcwing to take them on. Or the Arcwings will go do this. It's like, no, they have no purpose. They have no purpose at all. In fact, no, do you know, the Arcwing doesn't actually even have a purpose at all. Does it? Well, you don't need to use the Arcwing to get onto things, do you? Can't you just deploy by shooting people in the torpedo launcher?
No, I think you need an Arcwing for
that. Do you? Well, no, I know you need an Arcwing, but you can deploy straight onto an enemy ship, can't you, from it?
Yes, yeah. So you don't have to go out into space on the Arcwing.
Yeah.
While you're being shot, you can just go fired straight into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a valid point. Like, I think realistically, one thing that would actually help with this is if there were enemies out there that were designed in such a way that you couldn't aim at them easily in Railjack. So you know how in Railjack you have the leading marker that I don't know what the technical term is. When you're aiming at them, you can see the little reticule ahead of them to say, if you aim here, you'll actually hit them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The target lead.
Yes, right. But if what I would like to see is, why can't we have enemies, right? Maybe let's add on Deveri Proxima, right? That the enemies don't give you a target lead, right? So you don't know how to shoot them. So
can I just if you, and that's if you've got the target lead upgrade. If you don't have the target lead upgrade, then the enemies don't even register on your HUD.
Sure. I
just want to make it that the upgrade is actually still useful. It kind of reduces everything by 1 level, the enemy.
Yeah, sure. But the whole point is that this is what Arcwing's for. So you go out there, these enemies don't go for the Arcwings, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's a case of they fire really slowly, right? So the projectiles are fast enough to hit the Railjack, not really fast enough to hit Arcwings. And I think Archwings are faster. That's the intent. So if Archwings are faster, that works. If they're not, that was the intent.
It doesn't even have to be faster. You can just have that they don't acknowledge Archwings as a threat.
Sure. And then you actually have weapon, like, you know, your arc guns, and then you can just blast the crap out of these enemies. And because you can get close to them on your Archwing, right? Whereas they keep, that's it, yeah, they keep away from the Railjacks, making it so much harder for them to be targeted by the Railjack turrets. But Archwings, they don't register, so you can get close to them with the Archwings.
Yeah.
You know? As long as a Railjack's not chasing behind you on your Archwing, and then like, well, this is not helpful. Like, I can't get close to the damn thing. Fuck off. Yeah. So, but I like this idea of a rocket launcher. I like the idea of it having better purpose on Archwing than just feet on the ground. I love the design. Again, the old over-the-shoulderness. I like the idea of all to lock on. So on release, it actually fires the missile at the laser target. Again, well, Arching, because there shouldn't be many enemies. So there shouldn't be many obstacles in space to hide behind, so the rockets miss. So yeah, I like this idea a lot.
I'm just thinking, I actually would prefer, and I don't get why there's not more of this, and the spoiler one wasn't indicating it was going to have this kind of stuff. I'd much prefer if this is either a corp. If it was, they say
Orokin, don't they? Yeah, Orokin's thing. If
Yeah.
it was an Orokin piece of tech, but was augmented with Grineer or Corpus tech. So one of my favorite weapons, I don't really use it from the thing, but I like the concept of it, is the Seer, which is
Right.
Orokin tech and Grineer tech, and it's like a really interesting hybrid. And we never saw anything more of that.
Yeah, that would have been better. Like,
I mean,
that
they
would have
did
been
get
good.
things like, for weirdly enough, the Atmos, which I don't get, and then the new core. But I don't. Apart from that, Grineer aren't supposed to have energy technology. But it would be
Well,
really
I
cool to
thought-
see stuff like the Seer, where it's a combination of tech.
I thought the Atmos was supposed to be some form of like, God, welder. It was supposed to be used as a tool to weld surfaces together, which is why you see some of the. I could be wrong on this one, but I think you see on the shipyard different Grineer that are using it that are like, you know, your worker Grineer. I could be
Do
wrong.
you know how to spell Atmos?
I can look it up while you play and take down the concept art, or keep the Warframe Wiki Atmos.
Yeah, Google's a better search thing than the wiki search thing, because I searched for Atmos and it's like atmospherics, Barracutia.
Sorry,
trades.
Atomos.
Oh, Atomos.
Right. The Atomos is a Grineer particle cannon firing a heat-based beam that can chain between multiple enemies. This particle cannon generates a condensed beam of superheated plasma designed to melt rock or ore. Enemies to molten slag. Sorry, it's not to weld surfaces together. Who wields it?
Yeah, you're thinking of Spectra.
I possibly am. There is. Oh my god. Which bloody enemy wields this? Is this not on the wiki page? Am I being blind? Am I blind? Secondary.
Doesn't say anything about anyone using it.
I swear there is one enemy that uses it. Let me have a quick look for the Grineer faction enemies that I think use it, and then find out, whoa, I got that wrong.
I think this is just something tied to the list of your pet hate, your long-running pet hate, where enemies don't use the weapons that exist.
That's quite possible. And I'm just waiting for chat to like absolutely lose their shit and just go like, "Oh my god, how did you miss that dude? There's that guy over there."
Don't you know it's the Grenier Ranger Extremis that you only find on mobile defense missions on Earth, on Kuva missions versions of it.
There's a lot of stuff here. Oh wait, no, that's still. They look really similar to the guardsmen. Why am I not finding them?
Can I pause?
Yeah, can you?
Okay, if I go back, yes. Pause. No?
It hasn't. There you go. Right. So it turns out the enemy I was looking for was a Grenier Drudge. And they are not equipped with the Atmos. But for some strange reason, the Drudge are not on the the Grenier page at all. Don't know why. But took a while. We eventually found them. Yeah, so I can't even fucking remember I thought they were Grenier that used the Atmos. Turns out I'm wrong. Why were we even talking about the Atmos?
I was saying about how this would be cool if this was an Orokin / Grenier piece of tech. How they were slowly expanding on the Grenier using different tech like the Seer, and then they had the Atmos because there was always a thing about Grenier developing energy weapons, but they never went any further. Oh, and the new core, but that was it.
Right. Okay, I'm with you now.
Yeah.
Right.
So it'd be kind of cool if this was like Seer or same for the Corpus. It'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. Not really much more to add to that, really, I don't think. So, do you want to go to the replies for this?
Yes, hang on. Let me just put in a thing and then upgrade it. And I have enough to. There we go. Radiant. Yes.
Not Pum.
There we go. That's how we do it. Right, replies. Just put them on screen. Warframe needs to rein back this class of weapons as they now completely dominate the entire arsenal space. However, they shouldn't be by reducing their power, as that would be unreasonable and insane for any gaming standard. Instead, what needs to happen is to boost their power and buff the radial fall-off damage, as the intention of high explosive weapons is to clear out entire rooms of enemies that are otherwise too overwhelming for players to face.
Sorry. Hold on. Warframe needs to rein back this class of weapons as they now completely dominate the entire arsenal space.
Yep.
Full stop. However, this shouldn't be by reducing their power, as that would be an unreasonable and insane for any gaming standard. Full stop. Instead, what needs to happen is boost their power and buff the radial fall-off damage, as their intention of high explosive weapons is to clear out entire rooms of enemies that are otherwise too overwhelming for players to face. Full stop.
I think it's just absolutely stupid, and I'll get to replies in a minute. It's like, right, okay. You talk about video games and things, right? Now, why doesn't every army in the world not equip their baseline trooper with their basic standard gun being a rocket launcher or a grenade launcher?
Because they'll kill themselves.
Because they'll kill themselves, most likely, and other people, and their teammates, and most likely also endanger non-combatants and things like that. It's just because it's so indiscriminate. There's a trade-off, and there's also the risk they'll kill themselves. Yeah. Warframe's removal of self-damage completely just guts that whole principle, and so that's the biggest downside to these weapons.
Yeah.
I mean, most people say like, oh, but they're too expensive to build. It's like, no. If we could equip everyone with grenade launchers, we'd equip everyone with grenade launchers. That's what we do. Yeah. It's just that bullets are more
specific.
Dangerous.
No, yeah, better range. No, but you could equip everyone with multi-fire rocket launchers.
How does that reduce the danger?
For what? No, what? What do you mean?
No, you said like grenade launchers, and then talking about the grenades and things. I'm like, the reason why we don't do it is because it's too dangerous.
Yeah, exactly.
It makes
It is too dangerous. I mean, if we wanted to afford it, we would. Like baseline troops equipped with rocket launcher that has a giant clip of rockets on the back, and it's like, yeah, we could do this. Yeah, economies of scale. It would get cheaper the more you make of it. So it's like, yeah, we would do it. But it turned war into a farce because
you imagine
kill your own troops half the time.
Can you imagine SAS troopers? Sorry, SAS commandos. I don't know, soldiers,
Yeah.
right? Armed with silenced grenade launchers.
Yeah.
No. The grenade still explodes with its full ferocity, right? But it's just like what the hell's going on? It's like, we need to kill that guy. He's got 12 hostages in that room. Don't worry, I got this.
Quick, let me just sneak these earmuffs on these other guards. They don't hear the inevitable explosions.
Sorry, but I just want to highlight this person. I want to dumb this down. This sentence one. DE need to make what's called launchers less AoE weapons less good. Second sentence, but we can't debuff them. Third sentence, we need to buff them.
Yeah.
The fuck?
Yeah.
Like, does this person not realize what they've written?
No, they don't.
Okay, next reply.
Brahma has 5 shots and uses the sniper ammo pool. But there are ways to get around this, mods, carrier, etc., and thus the downside can be significantly reduced.
What's that got to do with the price of fish?
I think it's probably a reply to a reply.
I suppose.
Because they're saying about how these things are dominant. It's like, yeah, so that's the issue. The Brahma has a...
Hold on. You keep going.
The Brahma being a sniper rifle ammo is harder to get, and like you can hold less of it. So by giving them that, you get less per pickup as well. It's just to reduce the overall effectiveness of the weapon, so you don't just spam out rocket launcher rounds everywhere. Like, look at my art gun. I don't think I've ever gone below 700 rounds because I keep finding clips for it. If you had like a rocket launcher that had 900 rounds and I could keep finding more, I'd never run out of rockets.
Oh, the first reply is actually the first person replying to themselves.
As you do.
Hold on. Oh, no, I think there's some notes that were missed off. We need to rein back this class of weapons as now it completely dominates the entire space battle. However, this shouldn't be done by reducing the power that would be an unreasonable and insane for the gaming standard. Instead, what needs to happen is to boost the exchange for this is that the ammo must be reduced significantly to perhaps 1 clip with a few shots and give a special class of ammo that is rare and not convertible. That would make these weapons extremely rewarding, but players will be more conscientious on when and where to use them. That sentence was missing.
The problem also of adding in, I like the idea of like, unique ammo pool that doesn't suffer from mutation mods or thingy mods and be like, oh, it's so good, it's so different, and then D will introduce a mod later that just does that again.
Yeah,
because that's what they do. I don't know negative about it, but it's just the creep of mod creep.
Yeah.
Next reply: heavy weapons should have their own special. Oh. That's exactly the next reply. So, you just read it out.
Oh. Why is this written so weirdly?
Heavy weapons should have their own special super rare ammo type instead of sniper ammo, and then be non-convertible so that carrier ammo mutation cannot be used. And because it should be contained to one clip only, there is no total ammo for the arcanes to increase ideally.
Fair. I don't know. I think the problem is that if you do this, D will turn around and just not. No, D will change it so that you can have a bigger ammo pool. But yeah, or no one will use it because, like, I don't want to play with a weapon that I can use 3 times in a mission. You know, what's
I think
the point?
it could be interesting.
It could, but we're never in a position.
The thing
to
is,
use this.
yeah, it's like, again, you've made a new tool, which is interesting, but there's never a situation to use that tool in, which is the game in a nutshell. There's so many tools on our Swiss Army knife that we bring into every mission, and there's no need for a necromech. There's no real need in most weapons for an operator. There's no need for an art gun. When the basic core thing of rifle, pistol, melee, warframe power was a lot of tools anyway, and got the job done.
Yeah.
Even then, that was a lot of tools. That's more tools than you needed. Realistically, maybe you can just get by with just one. Sometimes. I mean, the reason why you have multiples with different elements, different enemies, is in theory you should have different enemies that you could find in a mission, and this one can be more adaptable for them, and this one's for them.
But the problem is that you can just completely overpower their resistances and just nuke it.
Or just slash damage.
That too. Right, well, that is it for the topics. So shall we move on to the community shoutouts? Is that next? No, is it the graphs? Sorry. Yes, so time for the graphs. So the first graph for today, as I bring them up myself, is how do you feel about the new Deviri open world that's to be showcased at TennoCon 2022? So 6% said negative, 39% said positive, and 56% said neutral. Where are you, Loz?
I'm positive. I'm kind of being positive about it, but to me, it's kind of, they can't just show us the same. They have to show us something new. Just another open world. What is it? Here comes the new boss, same as the old boss. You ever heard that term?
No.
That's a very famous one. So basically, when you get revolutions and things, and they try and, we're going to replace the government, we're going to put a new government in, and everyone will have steak for dinner every day, and then the new boss comes in, here comes the new boss, same as the old boss. Once they're in the position, they just do exactly the same thing that everyone else did, and that's why it doesn't matter which, most political parties, you always end up with the same thing, really. And so that's what it is. So I want to see an open world that is not just, I'm sorry, we had the first one. Yay, it's new. Here's the second one. It's a bit different with a bigger map. Okay, well, you gave us a bigger map, I guess, and it's basically the same thing, but it's a bigger map, I guess. Okay, slight excitement. Okay, here's a third map. It's kind of the same stuff again, but odd and no real change on a smaller map. And I'm like, yay. And it's like, okay, so here's the fourth map. It's going to have bounties. Why? It's going to have fishing. No, it's going to have mining. Why? It's going to have animal behavior because you love that for floofs. What? So I'm positive. This has to be something different. I want to see mind-blowing stuff. It doesn't have to be like, for instance, horse taming, like and training. There we go. That's different. You have to work on your mount, upgrade your mount, steal that from WoW Dragonlands and Assassin's Creed and things. Work on your mount. Mount development helps your mount. You have to get your mount to traverse different areas, and you have to unlock different bits. That'd be interesting. That'd be unique. That'd be different in Warframe. Yeah, you see what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just off the top of my head.
God, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm quite negative about it. maybe I'm trying to go in with super low expectations because I don't want another open world.
No, you don't
Like,
want another of the
I don't want the
same open
same.
world. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want the same open world, right? I don't want silly busy work. I don't want layers of delayed complexity. I definitely want a boss fight. Give me a boss that's roaming the open world, and like you'll instantly have my attention,
But
right?
Eidolons roam.
Yeah, but we haven't had one for what's it called? Fortuna.
The exploiter roams.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't. You
Yes,
have
it
to go
does.
start a quest for it.
No, that's Profit Taker. Yeah, but it roams. It roams to the north.
Does it?
Yeah, it roams because it's got the. That's how you can fight the. What do you call them with their canisters?
I take it back. Yes. No, I take that back entirely. I completely forgot you did that.
Yeah.
Wait, but why would you go get their canisters though? Oh, that's for the thermia fractures, isn't it?
They also are the only mobs that drop a certain. They drop the stance mod.
Right. Okay. Fair enough then.
Yeah.
But again, you only can engage with the exploiter in the deck 12 bounty.
Yeah.
Right. Which, well, it's not really a bounty, but you know what I mean. You go into the deck 12 loading area, and there you go. You're engaging with the exploiter. We haven't had the third orb mother yet. Still, I just want Deimos. I just felt was just such a step backward, and I don't want that again. I really don't. I'll struggle with it if that's the case.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. They have to break. They've had a mold, and when they first, they had a mold. They got to go, and here's the thing: we made a jelly mold. You're like, way jelly, yay! And they're like, okay, here's the same jelly mold, but slightly different color. Like, okay, but it's the same jelly. And it's like, oh, we've made a third different color. I'm sick of jelly. Can we have ice cream now?
Yeah.
Or custard.
I'll go for rhubarb. I'll take bloody rhubarb. I hate rhubarb. I'll just take. Can we not have jelly anymore?
But yeah, exactly. See, so we're not hungry.
Let's move on to the next one. Right. So the next one is: should Steel Path drop tables include new weapons and mods? Right. 17% said no. 22% said don't care, and 61% said yes. I'm firmly in the yes on this one.
Steel Path drop tables include new. Yeah. Don't get me wrong though, at the same time, I don't think it's very inventive. It's not like unique or anything. It's just do the thing, and once you've got them, they'll become like, I think you can get weapons from the Ghoul Purge, and you're just like, whatever. I don't need that weapon anymore. But at least for a time, at least it'd be like, aha, I'll go do these hard missions on Steel Path, and oh look, cool, I've got the weapon. That's cool.
Yeah. But there's a reason to go do it, right? And for the love of God, drop tables, not bloody currency crap. For the love of God, fucking, when was galvanized mods came out and you got them from the arbiters, and it was just a case of, oh yeah, you have to hand over this vibranium. I can't remember what the fuck the bloody resource is called. And there you go. Like I had the vibranium already, so I just handed it over.
Yeah.
All right. The third graph. Give Loz opportunity to press button.
You got angels to fight, man.
You got angles, right? Third graph is: why do you play Steel Path? 17% said challenging content. 28% said I don't, and 56% said items from Teshin.
Yeah.
Which I honestly think is sad.
Yeah.
Right. The next one, number 4, is which do you want for Warframe, self-damage or self-stagger? I've taken my glasses off. I can't read the numbers. 39% said self-damage and 61% said self-stagger. I'm self-damage at this point.
No, I can understand why. Nobody should. If the people who are voting for self stagger, it's just because they enjoy AoE weapons. This will just kill AoE weapons. Why would they? It's like, well, I like my AoE weapons, so why would I vote for this? I can't see, apart from I like these weapons like this. Why? Oh, because then I don't blow myself up. Okay, but that adds complexity, it adds intrigue, it adds the ability to at least have something to scale these weapons off of and stop them being just the best for no reason with no skill check or anything. But
it's not just
I
that.
want my good weapons.
It's not just that, but I feel that with self-stagger, you really start to have a need for, oh god, what's the name of the damn thing? Things like primed, sure-footed in your build.
Yeah.
Just so that you're not constantly knocking yourself over. And it's like, well, you're putting a necessity to prevent yourself from knocking yourself over, not for enemies to stop knocking yourself over, for yourself to stop knocking yourself over. Whereas if it was self-damage, which you could mitigate with damage reduction, right? Then that has a benefit of both you doing it to yourself and enemies damaging you, right? But otherwise, self-stagger is just because you're doing it.
Yeah.
Right. Then the next one is, do you want to see Xeno's Warframe power suit idea? 35% said that, 24% said no, 35% said that they didn't care, and 41% said yes. Sorry, I misread that. 100% said yes. There you go. So,
look, you're not getting Warframe Gigantic as much as you want it.
I want Warframe Gigantic, but I mean, you know.
That's what a Necromech is.
I mean, no, that's not what a Necromech is.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't. Because you have to get out of your Warframe to get in the Necromech. You don't get out of the Guyver to get into Guyver MDRLOz. You get in Guyver Gigantic with your Guyver.
What if I put a Warframe inside another Warframe?
That's the point.
Inside a Necromech. Inside another Warframe.
Inside a Golden Moor.
Inside a Golden Moor.
Inside a Railjack. Oh my god.
Teshin.
A Railjack inside Teshin.
Why if I put a Railjack inside of Teshin?
Right, okay. And then the last jokey one was, how would you improve the Sif Killjoy grenade launcher? 18% said blood sacrifice. When you shoot it, you lose. 18% also said change them so that they fire smaller rounds more frequently and remove the explosion to stop self-stagger. I hope you realize what you just turned it into. 29% said tactical nuke grenade launch. That's like tactical nuke grenades. Warning, causes mission failure. And then 35% said autonomous AI-powered grenades bent on world domination.
Dude, that is the best choice.
It's all about those AIs, Loz. They're going to dominate the world. Right. Okay. So that is it for the graphs. And now I believe it to actually be the supporter questions.
I'm good and I'm dead. So that's perfect time. Yeah. And,
Boop. Supporter questions?
Where are they?
Nope. Oh, sorry, my bad. Did you hit the boop boop, the transition? Because I didn't know I just said was recorded.
Aha! So, right, so it's Rugal first has us.
Did you hit the transition button?
Find that.
Well, this is why we put it in here.
Like I've told you in Shoutouts Nazareth, I do push it. It's just the silly thing doesn't acknowledge it unless you whack the button multiple times. I assume because sometimes it's like it has to shift to it and things. But anyway,
I honestly don't know.
Drugel starts off with. Sorry, this font's called Lilia, but it's okay. Obviously, its A's are different. Okay, it's got alphas instead of A. Yes, it does. Zoogle Strat Alpha Arts us off with Alpha Question, Alpha Bout Prime Get Alpha R, but before that Alpha T, I just Alpha Nt to S Alpha Y, Th Alpha KU to everyone who Alpha S W Alpha Chit or listened to our show. So Alpha R, Alpha Nd to play Alpha C like Alpha and subscribe. If you hit Alpha Vent, Alpha Lurie, Alpha G. There you go.
Can you read that normally now, please?
Drugel starts off with a question about Prime Gear, but before that, I just want to say thank you to everyone who has watched or listened to our show so far, and to please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Do you think there should be more Prime weapons that don't have a vanilla counterpart?
Can't see why not.
No, if they do, I want a story about why they don't, or like I want to find them in a nuke why, or that they're for some reason like that there's like a set that was always designed to be Prime only. I like the idea that there's I don't know.
Oh yeah, I think there should be a lore component.
Yeah, it should be a lore component.
Like, I mean, maybe put it in the Lavarian.
Yeah, Lavarian. They could do so much more with the Lavarian. So, I mean, we still don't know if a Prime is the first, or just the prototype, or the mass production, or if the Prime comes after the mass production type and is just designed to be more of a ornamental, elegant super version. You know, we don't know. There's just Prime.
We don't know.
Magic Uncle Thay. We're getting a few more compliments. We're getting a few.
That name.
Professional, Xeno, professional. We're getting a few more complaints in the forums and Reddit about silver former blueprints, where D's drop tables in relics means that the blueprints appear in both the common and uncommon tiers. These players believe that uncommon tiers should reward more than something in the common tier. Do you also think this is a problem? And if you do, what do you think could solve it?
I respect that this is a problem for players that like to spend their time formering every single weapon. As someone that doesn't, I do not see this as a problem. I respect the fact that as this is taking up valuable opportunity for players to get something else, I am in an agreement. Maybe it should reward 2 former blueprints or 3 former blueprints.
Nope.
No?
Nope. Should have your 50. Nope. On mission completion, if it's a silver reward, it has a 50% chance to go, oh my god, it's actually turned into a complete former blueprint. Whoop-de-doo.
No. The resources required to make former are fucking pathetic now.
Yeah, but it's something.
That's not
literally, you just have to give them something.
Isn't.
2 former is ridiculous. 2 former blueprint.
Is it?
Yes.
Is 2 former blueprints ridiculous?
Look, DE don't understand when you're giving a reward of multiples. That doesn't make sense. There is thing you do get reward. Chance
they
have
3 former bundles.
That's not a reward. That's money.
You could get 3 former bundles on your daily login.
That's not a reward. That's just random putting things in the login because they were lost and they didn't know what to put there because they had to keep coming up with things. They put random things in there from the market.
Well, then they should just take them out of the uncommon 50%
rewards. Chance when you do it, it goes, oh, your former blueprints evolved into former. Whoop-de-doo.
No, just make it 100%.
Remember, it's a 12-hour. Is it a day? A day build time? 12-hour build time?
So?
Yeah, some people would appreciate that because, as you say, it's for the people who form.
Then just make it 100%.
No.
Why?
Because that should be a gold tier reward.
You fucking put former on gold tier rewards, and people will have a gigantic meltdown.
Pack of 3 former.
Huh? No, they will still lose their crap.
Pack of 3 former on a gold tier reward.
You only get 1 gold tier reward.
Pack of 3 former on a gold tier reward.
No, I really think people will go
Poll for next
spare if you
week.
did that.
Would you accept 3 complete former as a gold tier award for relics? Job, put it on. Go.
Well, I will. I'll write it down.
Right.
I'm gonna write, hold on. Let me write it down because I will forget. Would you accept 3 times complete former as a gold tier reward for a specific relic? Whoops. Yeah. We'll fiddle the terminology, the wording. Anyway, yeah, next.
Casual prediction: which primes will be revealed at this year's Tenno live stream?
Excalibur Prime, Ballast Prime, and Railjack Prime. Did I win?
No.
Damn.
Failed. So that's it for the. I should actually quit one.
The spoiler questions?
Yes. Let's go on to those. So quickly. Burrito Devil. Just my opinion, but I prefer if topics were separate from fan concepts. Feels like a lot of actual game discussion is lost due to them.
Sorry, say that again.
Just my opinion, but I prefer if topics were separate from fan concepts. Feels like a lot of actual game discussion is lost due to them. We replaced one topic each week with fan concepts instead of adding a fan concept in addition to 2 topics.
So what, you want 2 topics again and a fan concept?
Yeah. And I'm not against it, seeing as the last few weeks have just been, it's a grenade launcher, it's a rocket launcher.
I mean, fine if you want.
Well, yeah.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
However, to counter that, there's Grey Archon with, I'm pretty excited you did one of Fluffy's concepts. I love reading through those. There are a few people on the forums who just spend a ton of time constantly making new concepts for weapons, enemies, and the entire open world / planets. So I'm excited for you to go through those, like Black Diamond, Ace, etc.
Who is this?
Sorry, the first one was Burrito Devil. This one is Grey Archon.
Grey Archon, please feel free to message me on Discord, or put the topics, the concepts and things in the Warframe, the 10 o'clock channel on my Discord, or just send them my way, because we're happy to pick up topics that other people suggest.
JJ24, self stagger is better. Even with 99% reduction, a weapon with greater than 340,000 damage would just kill you. Any steel path weapon can do more than that. After the stagger change, galvanized mods and gun arcanes were added to the game. If self-damage was reintroduced, the meta would abuse the unlimited vulnerability through shield gating. I guess most people would stop using AoE weapons because of the ability spam. Would Xeno still use his Spore Laser if he had to cast the Grass ability, aka Hallowed Ground, every time he shot too close?
I don't think that's the problem. Hallowed Ground. I think the problem is if I shot the Spore Laser too close, I'd be dead.
I don't know.
I
don't like it. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's like, but with these really powerful super guns, you'd kill yourself even with 99% damage reduction. Yep, good. In game next week, please. That's what I want. Yep. Yeah. Come on, you're gonna kill yourself. Yep, that's fine. It's part of the skill-based weaponry of the game. They're absolutely amazing weapons, but if you just clip it wrong because you just decided, but I want to switch my brain off and just kill all the enemies. I'm not saying this is you, JJ24. I just mean this is the lowest common denominator of people who keep suggesting about.
Here's another
self-damage back. Not you, JJ.
Here's another thought about it. Right. Here's another thought about it. If you have Godzilla has 500,000 health, right? You have a grenade launcher, it does 1,000,000 damage. You just run up to Godzilla, you shoot Godzilla, you kill Godzilla instantly, and all you do is just do a backflip.
Yeah, but Godzilla is exploded into
chunky chunks. Giblets.
Yeah.
Right. into giblets.
It doesn't feel right from a gameplay point of view. It doesn't feel realistic. It just feels stupid. And I'm sorry, I used to love those kind of weapons because that was kind of interesting that you could do that, and it's like, oh no, remove that.
Well, let's throw in 5 Godzillas. All have 500,000 health. Doesn't matter. My Spore Lacer still does 1,000,000 damage.
Yeah.
I can just one-shot all 5 of them in one go, a point-blank range, and all I do is a little backflip. Right?
Yep.
People talk about the power creep and things getting completely excessively out of control.
Yeah.
If you want to reduce that, well, hey, you've got this one grenade, right? It fires 1,000,000 damage. You're gonna die, but you will take out everyone else, right? It trivializes. That's the important part. Stagger trivializes the content or AoE damage with no downside, but you get the idea. Any other comments?
Yeah, Benjamin's marriage. On the poll, I voted for self-damage, but I want to put a caveat on the answer. I would like an access mod that converts up to 100% of self-damage into self-stagger, to allow people who like the self-stagger over self-damage to have their fun, or if not, I don't like that, I'm sorry, have my fun, or if not, maybe an arcane. The elemental resistant mods could actually work so they give 100% resistance from elements you are making. So if you're using a cold resist mod and your weapon does an AoE cold explosion, with a free rank mod, you would limit the immune explosion so you're not immune to other sources of cold from enemies. Sorry. Something that might help with self-damage and players knowing where the radius... Oh, that's about saying, yeah, throwing arcs. No, that's fine. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So, again, similar problem. It's like, well, we've got to go do... Brigadier General Vor, right? Who is, the size of Godzilla with 500,000 health. I'm just gonna slap on this self stagger mod, and then I'll just jump in and just nuke it.
Yeah, I mean, I do like modding being the solution things, but for this is like, yeah, but you just lose one mod. And thus you can just keep going, I explode everything.
If it's a mod that has, again, a ridiculous cost to it, like I'm talking, I don't know what counts as a ridiculous cost, then fine. Yeah, okay, fine. Then you really do have to consider, do you want to take it? But it's self-stagger is the reason why the AoE meta has exploded.
Yeah.
If you take that away, then AoE metas will become, you need a middle ground. Maybe self-damage is capped at a percentage of your maximum HP. I don't know. But you need a middle ground.
No, I agree that it could, maybe something else needed to be done about it, but I don't think just making everyone immune to self-damage was the solution. Right, moving on to other things, though. Zrugal says, there isn't a special strain of infestor weapons, but there needs to be. The Wraith and Vandal variants are just that, variants. You can have both, and they have similar stats. Mutilus weapons don't have regular versions, arguably, except for the Quanta and Mutilus Quanta, but they don't share many features. You build both, where Wraith and Vandal variants come from events. Sorry for the rant. Never a rant, Zrugal. So it's fine.
Agreed.
Even people, I know I don't agree with people about self-damage. Thank you very much for everyone who has put comments about self-damage. I mean, I'm not right, but no one's right. It's all discussion, and we improve each other by the debate of different people's points.
And if you want to talk about AI,
yeah, just
I really got into that.
Someone please just talk to him about AI, so he won't.
Someone put him out of his misery.
Yeah, he needs to talk to someone about AI. Clearly, he's got a problem. Right, and then the last one is just William Semeno. Thank you for, I think it's reading my question out. Out of the 25 infested weapons, 15 are from the dojo. Perhaps only those that get a evolved form, or the ones that aren't from the dojo will get that evolved form. Imagine a Hema or Hirudo with better stats. Exciting prime weapons wouldn't get this evolved form, but the base version could get a proboscis version. That'd be cool.
Yep.
That would be cool. Right, that's it for the... Oh, no, don't load that. That's it for the community responses. Now we are on to the memes.
Memes.
The memes. Right, so...
First meme.
get my memes up. That's not memes. Ah, yes, right. Memo number 1. Hear me out. Hello, Senator Armstrong from Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. Hello, Nathaniel from Warframe.
What the fuck? Okay.
Oh,
Maybe
sorry,
should buy
I
that.
forgot to say my blurb. So obviously all these memes come through r/memeframe subreddit. We have links in the description of this video that you can get to do that, along with a video which is the secret meme of this week, which made no sense this week. So do check them out, and if you just want to find some good memes, so you're looking for a laugh or Warframe related, go check there during the week. They put memes. I will pick from the top memes of the week, the freshest of memes, and then show them to you. So here is my top pick of 6. So meme number 2.
Loz, no, Loz, go back to number 1.
Okay.
Right. I personally think you need to provide a citation.
It was a meme.
Sorry, no, provide a source. Provide a source.
I don't need a source. I made it up.
I made it the fuck up.
I made it the fuck up.
Yeah. Number 2.
Still up to date.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Wait, I swear my parents had that carpet at home.
Well, let's go that.
Yep.
Meme number 3. It do be like that sometimes. It do be like that sometimes. Warframe beginner. So when will I know how to play? 100+ hours players. That's the neat part. You don't. But this is me on the bottom there. Like I don't know how to play.
Yeah.
Meme number 4. Oh, that one has bugged out, so we will just pause for a second. Pause. All right, there we go. That is the meme. This is meme number, is it 4? Channeling my inner tourist. What I think I look like when I am scanning. What I actually look like.
That's good. Okay.
Then I have meme number 5, which is going to be one of my new platinum memes for you at the start when you're doing your blurb.
Okay.
Here comes the money. When you make your first 5
You haven't pressed it. You haven't pressed it.
No, I was.
Okay.
I was.
Okay. I just want to make sure because you're just reading out loud. Like, we can't see it. Whoa! Your mic's changed. Your mic's disconnected. Pause.
And we're back again. Right.
See, that's what happens when you slap your desk, your desk so hard that you destroy your microphone.
Well, that's when you ruin my jokes. So when you make your first 5 platinum, there you go.
Yeah.
I'll be saving this. I might write 7 just with paint on the 5 there. Right, and then deckboard memes. Right, and yes. I'm not going to move it. I'm going to read it out first.
Okay.
Yes, his torso and arms look weird. Although luckily, there's different skins for when I'll get him. When I have to admit to myself that Oberon Prime actually looks bad.
Yeah, he really does. Do you know what's the worst part about Oberon Prime?
No, what is the worst part?
His weird.
Oh, the ribbed for your pleasure neck.
Yes. It's attached to the head. So if you put that head on any other skin, there it is. It's right there. I'm like, what is it there?
It almost feels that they were like, oh, we've designed this really cool head. It's a bit higher. Okay, well, you're going to have to do something with the neck. Oh, do I have to? It's like, yeah, you're going to have to. It's going to fit on all these models. Okay. Did most basic option. Right, I'm done. Goes for lunch. Other person looks at work. Dear God, what have they made?
Yeah. Right, okay. And that was the last meme. I got it. Oh, what was my favorite meme? Oh.
Gotta be that one. Just look at that face. Look at that face.
Oh. No, actually I'm gonna say it's the first one. It's gonna be the first one. It's the Alad V and Senator Armstrong.
There you go. Yeah, I love the bottom image. It is so true. Right.
That's why. Yeah. Right. Time to go over the community shoutouts. So the first community shout out is Sentient OC by Eonheit.
Mm.
Yep. So I really like this, and would love it if it was in the game.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
See,
very.
to me, that is so much closer to what a sentient Warframe hybrid should look like.
Sure, but I prefer it just to be sentient.
That too, but like what happens when sentients try and evolve and adapt into warframes,
Yeah.
you know? So it's like a warframe in the middle there with its its chest blown out. Yeah, instead of the I put a snake on his head. Yeah, this one's an owl. Yeah, he's a wolfy boy.
I thought you were talking more about Caliban. That's fair.
Oh, Caliban's cool. It's just like he's an owl. Sorry,
he's an owl.
Hey. Don't bring pets in.
Okay,
Ooh.
so the second community shout out is Avara Prime by Narubon. Narubon.
I know we have these bigger images loaded already, but that is beautiful. I do need to. I like, as you saw earlier. I think I was just using my basic Avara. I do need to get around to swapping over to an Avara Prime because it's just it's beautiful, man.
Yeah, but I do prefer the whole frog aesthetic.
Yeah, I get you. I do agree with you, but I think Avara Prime is a interesting side grade, if that makes sense. There's advantages for both on the visuals. It's not just the Prime is better. It's not just the Prime is worse because it's different. There's good and bad things for both.
It's just different.
Yeah.
Right. The third community shout out is Operator and Nidus by Debbie Sheen.
Oh, wow.
So this was a commission piece. And very JoJo. Loz now gets the reference.
Well, they should sell postcards. I can almost feel the embossed background or the patterning in my hand on this postcard. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I think this was an oldie, but still quite liked. I don't know if we've had it before. The fourth community shout out is Lotus by Inamuk. Ibu Muck.
Oh wow, that's lovely.
Yeah. The fifth community shout out is a Plinks compliments any outfit by Archer. And Plinks is the pistol on the thigh.
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah.
I didn't spot it first.
It was like who shot first, Han or Guido?
Yes.
It really does look like it.
It does. Yeah, you're right. I get you on that. But I do love this image, but I'd be ready if it was coloured, even lightly.
Fair.
Because I didn't spot the blinks. It's almost like spot the blinks, you know.
Yeah. And then the last but not least, sixth community shout out is Strangledome by Panzer.
Very nice.
Yep.
Cora, another Warframe. I remember looking forward to when she came out, but I just didn't. I always just play Elite Sanctuary Onslaught with you. I never play Basic Sanctuary Onslaught, so I never really. Do I even have a Cora? I think I might have a Cora. Let me check if I've got Cora. Do I have Cora? I don't have Cora.
Well, we have to go get you a Cora.
I need two because I need to show it in the machine.
Right. Okay. Well, that is it for the community shout-outs. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching and listening thus far.
You're not signing out yet.
What?
Am
I not?
No, we said we'd do something this week, but we haven't done it yet, and it'll just be in the outro. There we go, outro. So I don't have to worry, I don't think. Yeah. We'll just do a bit of an outro instead of making a whole thing of it. We're not going to be here for long. We need to make some positive, or at least come up with some. What do we think is going to happen?
Positive predictions.
Yeah, for TennoCon. Come on, obviously.
I want squad link trials.
There we go. So you want to see them be like, yeah, we've gone back to drawing board. We've come up with an idea to do squad link, and we're going to do it in these cool trials. And you're gonna have a railjack working on safeguarding and powering an ion cannon in low orbit to shoot the third orb mother.
I don't want to go that far. I want basically a dual boss fight for the first trial, just a dual boss fight. 2 separate rooms, and you have to manage the really basic stuff to begin with. We'll get to the whole railjack shooting stuff from orbit later. I just don't want to overcomplicate this because I don't want to scare away the player base.
So you want, for instance, it had to have you said 2 people in 2 different rooms.
I know, but I mean, the whole point is
It'd be Thorin in Alduar is what you're asking for.
Sure.
So there's I was just about to describe it. So you've got you've got fight enemies in like a gladiatorial pit. And then Team B is like going around the back into like the waiting rooms of the gladiatorial arena to get up to where the boss is looking down on you to force the boss into the arena. There you go. So people have to survive in the arena, and they also have to survive down in the get to the objective.
I love that.
It's very simple, and so they've got a little separate room to go through, and then but one side is just doing something simple. They are literally just fighting in a circular room.
Yep.
There we go. Okay, cool. Yeah, that'll be good. What else? Do you want to see? Obviously, we're getting to vary the open world. So, what would be your top 3 things that could be in Deviri? It's an open. Let's just say it's an open world that would make you. I'm not saying excited or impressed or jaw drop, but like you would be happy. You'd be like, good. That would make it so, because I know you're not looking forward to another open world. So, what's 3 small things that could be added to make you happy?
Mounted combat.
Yep.
So there are enemies. Oh god, necessary mounted combat. So there are enemies in the world that require you to be on a mount to handle, right? Because they do like broad sweeping attacks, like aerial strikes. Brilliant thing is fighting dragons in Elden Ring. It's so much easier doing it on a horse, right? Don't do it on the by yourself, sort of thing. The second thing, I want to adopt the token policies that were established in the Zariman. So the tokens are out in the world, they're easy to pick up, so on and so forth. Like maybe enemies can drop them and you have to pick them up from enemies, but I don't want the whole, go get me these fish guts to turn into tokens. Go get me these rocks to turn into tokens.
Bring me 3 random rocks. I want these rocks today, and I will give you 2 tokens for these rocks.
Get me. It's like, go capture these different dogs that give you badges. Give me those badges so I can give you tokens. I'm like, it was too far. It was too far. So I want the Deviri way of doing it. And then the third thing, I need an improvement to the bounty system. Please, for the love of God.
More dynamic, or more of an overarching goal between bounties, or what?
Oh God, I want to say more dynamic.
How about bounties having an actual effect? Like, I know they did the lightest of toe dips for Fortuna, where like your actions have an effect on the map. What bounties having an effect of opening up different areas or affecting bits on the map for you, or what?
So I think bounties, first off, you should be able to collect multiple bounties at once. So let's have 3 of every stage of bounty. So you can pick up 3 level 1 bounties, 3 level 2 bounties, 3 level 3 bounties, so on and so forth. So you can do them out in the field and then come back.
I feel that the game's going to be not designed to be able to achieve that.
I know. So it might be a case of you have to. Right.
Because you could fly by and activate one while doing another one, and they have different time restrictions. So how would that work? There's no way you can get that one. I'm going to take that one away from you. You're not having it.
Or alternatively, the environment is procedurally put together, so you have huge tile blocks that are moved around. So every single time you go in there into the open world, the layout's different.
So moving their procedurally generated stuff from just slapping basic tiles to make a route to slapping an entire constructed environment, a large open environment together.
Ooh, that's what I would want.
A bit like, but maybe a bit more, Diablo 3 did that kind of thing. They tried to do that kind of stuff.
I'm actually thinking more like Diablo 2, like more basic, more... Diablo 3 could be the way.
Diablo 3, I think, was good because it didn't... Though you were like, oh, okay, it's this event. After you'd run through an act a few times, you knew what event was what. But it kind of blended...
But it still kept you on your toes.
Well, it kind of went, here's the outside of the giant area you're in, and then it kind of was able to put those events
organically into the environment. So
Yeah.
you didn't. Okay, I've now stepped into tile B. The event will be 3 meters north, 30 meters north.
Yeah,
It was like you'd be there in the environment somewhere, but it did feel quite organic how it was spread about. Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep, that's it.
And do you want anything more with what do you want more with operators? What do you want the key thing of Deviri to be? Like, because obviously we've seen that trailer, and it has to live up to that trailer. And in that trailer, we saw the Drifter. Now we know it's clearly the Drifter. And we saw some sort of time paradoxy thing where they put a tigress in a hole, and then you pull the tigress out and use the tigress.
I want a boss fight.
Do you not want like what it's got to be the paradox thing. So do you not want like Deviri to have like 2 time points you can swap between or something? Because unless it's going to be unless it's going to be stupid like one-off quest thing where you're like, oh, I'm going to need a gun. Oh, in the past I'll leave a gun here so I can have it in the future. If it's that, I'll be really disappointed because the way it kind of showed in that trailer, it was kind of I know it's going to be, yeah, but it was kind of hinting that was like that's what this is about. So it's like the whole root of this area is going to be based around this like time thing. You did this now, and then you can do this different thing here thing. That was the key point of the trailer, and if they can't live up to that, then I'm going to be disappointed.
Indeed.
Right, there we go. Okay, so there's some cool predictions, because I think our next episode will be recorded before TennoCon, but come out after TennoCon.
That is true.
Yeah, just for everyone to know. But, remind everyone, we'll have a special TennoCon episode with Nazeth.
Which will come out before the one that is recorded before TennoCon.
Yeah, we'll say at the start of the episode, because we can just do like random stuff, I think. But anyway, so that's just let everyone know what's coming out, and we'll let you know within the episode. So let's all TennoCon hype time. Woo!
Bye.
Bye everyone. It's time for TennoCon. Yeah, I find the stop button.